Bill, one of your practices, we have it listed as number 93, is that first line supervisors are the backbone of every organization. First, I mean, for a person like myself, I'm not familiar with the phrase first line supervisor. And tell me about this principle and kind of define this role. And thirdly, tell me how this might fit in other businesses outside of sort of the traditional businesses you're in.
Okay, you have a first line employees. They're the ones who do all the work. They're called the worker bees. Then the next level up is what we call a first line supervisor. They're the people who are many times promoted with the least amount of training, the least amount of intention, and they have the greatest impact on your results. For instance, if you have a team of 9 or 10 people and you have a first line supervisor that is leading those folks, right? Well, when that first line supervisor does not set a good example, you've got 9 people out here following their bad example. Or if that first line supervisor is sick today, you've got 9 people out here looking for someone to approve or endorse their behavior, or they just do it on their own. Now, the people that are trained, almost every company I work with, the people that are trained are the people at the top level. They go to all the seminars, they get to read all the books, they get all this discretionary time to improve themselves. The first line supervisor is out here keeping those 9 worker bees going, and he's getting very little training. In fact, I believe they're the least trained people in the management staff, and they're the most important. That's the reason why I call them the backbone of every corporation and every company I work with.
Tell me some of the things, just give me a few examples of some of the things you did for your first line managers.
I set my first line managers up as profit centers. They knew that if they had 9 people, that's 9 times 40 hours, that's 360 hours a week they have to work. They need 360 hours a week of production. They have a budget, they have an expense. They were like a small business within a business. It's kind of like an entrepreneur rather than an entrepreneur. And so those people were held accountable, and they were trained to run a business. Consequently, we were able to promote from within because these people were so well trained and so important in our operation that to go to the next level was very easy for them. In fact, I thought it got easier as they went up the ladder because the training and all the hard training was at the first line.
Now, a lot of people talk about innovation in business, but everything you say, I mean, you wrote the book, Common Sense Success. You never claim to be really innovative with this stuff. You claim that it's common sense. So where did this come from for you? Because it sounds pretty innovative for me.
Well, I don't know. I guess I just looked at this and say, how simple can it be? Because I'm a very simple person. And in my case, I guess common sense is what I had to rely on, because I found that if I used common sense in my personal life and in my practices, and I passed it on to my staff, then we were more successful every time we used common sense. And, you know, I don't know. I just thought that everybody did this until I realized that hardly anybody does this, and it's what works.
Great.